the most wonderful time of the year for football fans. It's football season. So you want to throw a touchdown or tailgate party, then huddle up because Daina Falk, the hungry fan, joins us to share some ideas of recipes that help make our tailgate parties memorable and fun and easy. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Sonia. I'm very good. Thank you.
So how can we throw the perfect party that will have our friends begging for more?
Well, just like you, I'm super excited that football season is back because I love to tailgate. And what I like to do is take the classics and sort of jazz them up a bit, put a little twist on the classics. So I've got some great tailgating recipes for you today.
Great. So
shall I jump in?
Yes, please do. Let's start with the recipes.
All right, so chips and dip. Tailgating staples, of course. What I like to do with my salsa, for example, I like to take a little bit of mango, chop it up, take some jalapeno, chop that up too, and add it to my salsa. It gives it a little bit more tang and zest, and just makes it a little bit more interesting and more fun to eat. I also love store-bought onion dip, French onion dip. I mean, who doesn't? But one of the things that I like to do to sort of kick it up is to take some bacon, throw it on the grill, and then I chop it up, add it to my dip, and sometimes I add some green onions too, and it really gives my onion dip an immense flavor profile, and it's just a sort of, you know, fun way to jazz up the classic. And then of course we have our hot food, burgers, another staple at the tailgate. Who does not love burgers? What I like to do is to make my patties with McCormick Grill Mates hamburger seasoning, and I put that into my patty. I also like to add a little bit of mushrooms and some Swiss cheese to my patties. It makes them juicy and thick and really delicious. And something fun to do is to sort of create a do-it-yourself condiment bar at your tailgate. Or you can take a bunch of these McCormick seasonings and combine them with your condiments, your ketchups and your mayos, to create different flavored burgers. That way everybody sort of can have their own flavor and their own signature burger. So you could do like a chipotle ketchup or a bacon mayo, for example. And you can find out more about the do-it-yourself condiments online at the Grillerhood, which is Facebook.com/Grillmates. I've also got some drinks, if that's what you're into. Instead of doing mimosas, you can do beer-mosas, which is sort of what it sounds like, beer and orange juice. It's perhaps not as swanky. Yeah, it's not as swanky as a mimosa, but it is really good and bubbly. And or if you're more of, I guess, a Bloody Mary fan, I like Bloody Marys. You can do your Bloody Mary as you like, but rim the glass with a little bit of barbecue rub, and that way when you drink the Bloody Mary, it's really zesty and tangy, and you just get a lot of pop. It's really good.
So the beer-mosa.
Beer-mosa, yeah.
I'm going to need some more convincing there. What does it taste like? Beer and orange juice, or?
Beer and orange, they go really well together. You'd be really surprised. Yeah, I mean, I tend to stick with some of the lighter beers. I think that they blend a little bit better. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could try like a hearty, like a Guinness or something, but some of the lighter beers,
ease
maybe
into
like
it.
a Stella, or ease into it, or a Heineken or something, whatever you like. But give it a try. It's actually really good. And you know, if you're me, or like me, I should say, I like to get to the tailgate really early. So it's almost like breakfast time. So it's a good way to bridge from breakfast into the tailgate later in the day.
Okay. So what kind of challenges are there with hosting parties? We know that we're all pressed for time, and you've given us some great tips on how to, you know, ease things up on us. But what are the other challenges?
Cleanup is always sort of a pain. So one of the things I like to do is bring a bucket, and I put soapy water in there, and as people start to finish, or as I start to finish cooking with my utensils, throw those into the soapy water bucket and just let them sit there, because they'll start to, you know, clean themselves essentially while you're eating and enjoying. And that way it really cuts down on cleanup time. And you know, if you make it back to the tailgate after the game, whether you've won or lost, you can always have a little bit more to eat, and you've got some utensils that are now clean.
Well, you were telling me earlier that you actually grew up here in Washington, so who's your favorite team? Who are you going to be cheering for?
I know I have to be here. I actually have a lot of friends on different NFL teams, so I root for players.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, if you've got friends in high places, I can't argue with that. Thanks so much, Daina Falk.
I've been to many Redskins games, so I will say they're fun to watch. How about that?
For this market, that's what you're going to tell us. Okay, fine. Thanks, Daina. More Let's Talk Live's coming up. Stick with us right here.